In this podcast, I'm going to talk about play, participatory spaces, and why schools need to respond to the huge changes taking place through technology and digital media today. To begin this discussion, someone might ask themselves, why is play so important in the classroom? Why is it so important to learning? Play is a situated experience, just like learning. It exists because of rules which impact the player, but play allows learners to try various strategies for solving complex problems. Situated learning experiences let the learner practice without the high stakes of making a mistake in a real-life setting. This way, youth can practice skills they'll need later in life. For starters, one of my favorite quotes from this class is from Salen and Zimmerman, who define play as free movement within a more rigid structure. I like this definition because I think it explains the essence of play, but it's still general enough to apply to many different types of play. Through play, avatars can be created which help the player identify even more with the task at hand. Possible selves can be explored, and in the best case scenario, a cognitive apprenticeship can take place in which the player learns through doing. Play feels real without the risks. Even though this discussion focuses on play in the classroom, it's important to remember that play can happen at any age and at any time and in a number of ways. One very relevant type of play and learning is that which occurs through participatory spaces. Gone are the days of passive media audiences and top-down transmission of knowledge, both in school and out of school. More and more, participatory spaces are where life, work, and informal learning are happening. Researchers have written extensively about the importance of participatory spaces, especially through digital media, because these virtual environments can be accessed by anybody, anywhere, regardless of age, gender, or level of knowledge about a particular subject. Participatory spaces are vehicles for social interactions in the world today. The global workplace of the 21st century simply isn't the same as it was 20 years ago. This slide from a recent IBM seminar is a perfect example of how the world has been transformed through social media. Work is done in participatory spaces which rely on employees' abilities to collaborate, communicate, and innovate. Because of the incredible amount of technological innovations available today, much of this is done through digital media. Youth are already choosing to engage in these types of activities outside of school because play and social media appeal to students' natural tendencies for inquiry, constructing knowledge, communicating that knowledge, and expressing what they've learned. Something that John Dewey wrote about over 75 years ago. This isn't just a passing fad. Participatory spaces such as Facebook, Xbox Live, and multiplayer online games are transforming the world. Consider this. In just 10 years, over 800 million people have signed up on Facebook alone. But are youth reflecting on what they've learned through these online spaces? Are they aware of the consequences of participating in these new virtual worlds? This is where formal education comes in. Formal schooling has always prepared youth for the workforce and for future roles in society. Schools should consider play because it can help youth to explore roles they will take on as adults. But what students need now is to practice solving problems which have more than one answer, with more than one way to reach that answer. And teachers are needed to help students synthesize all of these virtual experiences so that students can learn from them. Digital games and social media help learning and retention more than the old transmitted, decontextualized way of teaching. This is because games let students share knowledge and collaborate on strategies for progressing through the game. It provides a space, a context for deep learning to occur. Lessons that the player can come back to at a later date if they need to apply these broad skills to another scenario. In short, play gives students practice for critical thinking and higher order cognitive skills they'll need later in life. Relevant, engaging formal schooling is possible. The classroom can become a virtual and non-virtual participatory space in itself, with situated learning experiences that rely on play and social interactions to ground them. In order to reach this goal, a certain amount of humility on the part of teachers will be necessary, because the teacher will facilitate instruction while collaborating with more tech-savvy students. In closing, this can be an exciting time for education to progress and remain relevant for students and the economic realities of the new world of work. but it will take the ingenuity and collaboration from all sectors of society. Thanks for listening.